Hello, guys. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me good? I'm using a new mic and I want to make sure it's not too loud. But so far, I've been having good. It's been going good for me. So today we are going to review Shavel Moore from Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup, and we're going to review her book Jail Lies. And we're also going to go over what other people are saying about the book and reviewing it on Amazon. Hey, Shell. Is that how you say Shelly? Hey, girl. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Carrie. How's everybody doing today? Has anybody else got Chevelle's book? So if you guys follow me, and can you guys hear me good? Let me know if you guys can hear me good. So if you guys can follow me, I went to Chevelle's book signing because it was only like 4 minutes down the street for me. And so I was like, okay. So I went and she did a little meet and greet. And so for $20, I got the book. And then she signed it. She put my daughter's name in there. It said, where's it at? I love you, Dream. And then it's got her initials, I guess SM for Shavel Moore. And then I got like a t-shirt and all that. But on Amazon, she's selling the book for $15. The book is only 37 pages. We can hear you. Good. Shell? Okay, cool. And yes, it's only 37 pages. And on Amazon, it says 47 pages. I guess they're counting like the blank pages. And like each chapter is only like 3 or 4 pages long. And I'm not going to lie, it was more like a pamphlet instead of a book. Like she's going to be... So, okay, let's go over the whole book. So, okay, she talks about... Hang on one second. So let's talk about like the overview of it. Her book says Jail Lies, which this is the thing. I thought it was gonna be like her life after she got out of after Quaylen got out of prison, like the story we haven't heard yet. And all it is like her story before he gets out of prison. So I feel like a lot of it is already stuff we kind of know from the show. And so this is the introduction. This book is dedicated to all the women and men who's ever fell in love with someone who is or was incarcerated. Your story may be different from mine, but one thing for certain, we all have experienced the same emotional highs and lows that comes with dating someone that's incarcerated. For that purpose alone, we are the same. This book will help you find yourself in one of these pages. I hope my journey can help you find yourself, your truth, and eventually your peace. I wrote this book for all those that will follow my path. The only difference is my story unfolds on national television. I asked myself if I could turn back the hands of time, would I do this differently? So, and like I said, and the chapters that she goes over, here are some of the chapters in her book. I can't really do like a recap of the book because, she's selling it, but I can do a review. Like chapter 1 is sweet talking, making love to my mind while penetrating my heart. And she goes over and talks about how her baby daddy, which I thought it was just her baby daddy, but I kind of put 2 and 2 together and they were married. And the show doesn't say that because the guy that Maila's from, his last name's Moore and her last name's Moore, so they're married. I don't know if they're divorced or like just haven't exactly got a divorce yet, but they were married. And she talks about how her husband, he was never like showed appreciation or affection. Like he never celebrated her birthdays. He never celebrated Valentine's Day. And she kept telling him over and over and over again, like, hey, this isn't cool. My birthday was yesterday. You didn't do nothing for my birthday. And she said as much as he begged him, he would just not be affectionate whatsoever. And she finally gave him so many chances and he wasn't changing. So finally she left him. And she said the reason that she liked Quaylen so much is he gave her the attention and the affection she wanted. How did Chevelle write a book? She hardly speaks. Well, that's the thing. Okay, so people were like, this book's got to be ghostwritten for sure. And okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't think the book is ghostwritten because it sounds like her when she's talking. And that's even like, I'm not the best at grammar, so I can't really like judge a person too much on that. That's why I'm more of like make videos instead of blogging and stuff because my grammar is not the best. But there's a lot. I don't think she got the book edited because there's a lot of not a lot, but there's a few spelling errors and some grammar errors in there. That's why it's only 37 pages. Yeah. She wants, I know, $1 a page. Yeah. And then 30-some page, just go ahead and read it all. And did she really say minds? Geez. Yeah. And that's how you can tell it was Chevelle, because she uses a lot of words that you can just tell is her. And the whole time when she writes the book, she doesn't say Quaylen's name. She refers to him as Q, which I noticed that at the end of Life After Lockup, like, it seemed like after they got engaged, she just started referring to him as Q all the time, which was kind of weird. And what else is everyone saying? Chevelle said to Quaylen, haven't I gave you my all? Yeah, in her little WWF outfit. He was locked up and nothing better to do than finesse. Yes. But yeah, so she just goes, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I almost feel like, okay, I love Chevelle. She was very, very nice. She talked to me for like 15 minutes, but I almost feel like this book is almost like the book version of clickbait. You know, like, she talks about lies that people can tell you, but not necessarily lies. And she doesn't even go deep down to all those lies. It's just, I don't know. Some of the things are written really good, like where you can feel like you can relate to it. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of this is stuff we already knew. Like, it's nothing new to me in this book. I am the grammar queen. Well, if you ever see me using bad grammar, let me know. Who is the publisher? It says Exlibrius. I don't know. But yeah, guys, here's how thin the book is. It literally looks like a pamphlet. Let me see if I can find a piece of paper to compare. Yeah, it's really thin. And then, I mean, I like her graphic. I like the little jail with the little blue lips. I think that's pretty cool. But, you know, here, let me show you guys. Like, seriously, this is a chapter. Hang on. This is oops. Hang on, this camera's got me confused. So this is a chapter, and then we go 2 pages. Shoot, where's it at? And then by the time you go to the next, there's 3 pages, and it's the next chapter already. So it's like it's really short. And it just talks about him up until he got out of jail. And talking about, she says like 99% of inmates finesse people that they're talking to and this and that. And I'm not sure where she got that whole number from. And she's like, I just hope that I'm in that 1% not being finessed. And she also talks about the reason she knew that Quaylen was true to her is because she said that when he first wanted her to put money on the books, she didn't put money on the books. And she waited a while, and she said he still talked to her, so she was testing him to see if he still stuck around, and she didn't put the money on the books, and she said he still stuck around and stuff like that. And she also talks about how he would get mad, like, you know, they'd have phone dates, because when you're locked up, you can't have dates like, well, I mean, you can visit that person, but they would have special, like, we're going to have a phone date. I mean, I'm sure some more went on besides phone dates sometimes, them talking dirty to each other on the phone and all that. But she said he would get really mad if she missed one of his phone calls. And there's like one time she couldn't visit him because Maila had something going on. He got so mad. And she's like, well, this is my life. This is my daughter's always going to come first. If you can't accept that, then, you know, you don't need to be in my life. And pretty much it just leaves at the end of the book like a cliffhanger that her and Quaylen are still writing their chapter, and we'll see what goes on from here. So, and he is cute. I really think I thought that when I first saw Quaylen, I thought I was reading QAnon. Okay, but here are the reviews on Amazon from people who have actually bought the book. So let's check out what these reviews are saying. And then I'll go over more on the book. Hang on, let me pull this up real quick. And guys, I used to read a book a day. I read this book in literally 15 minutes. I seriously read this book in maybe 20 minutes it took me to read this book. Okay. So hang on, let me zoom into this real quick so you guys can see this a little better. Sorry guys, I was trying to get prepared and then MIA. Hey Jimmy, what does Chevelle do for work? They said she's a business owner on the show. They say, I can't remember what her main job was, but she's got like some kind of thing where she sells like hair bundles and extensions and stuff, and she calls it Maila's Hair. I don't know if that's her main source of income, but here it is on Amazon. It says Jail Lies paperback, and it's $14.99 for the paperback or $3.99 for the Kindle. And like I said, I paid $20 for the book, but I kind of feel like I got my money's worth because I got, autograph, and then I got a t-shirt with it, so that balanced it out. And then, she talked to me for 15 minutes. She could have just like signed the book and went on her way. So, but people who don't get to do the meet and greet and paying $15 for the book, I think it's a little expensive. I honestly think the book's not worth over $5. For real. Yes, Donald. And totally unrelated, your eyeshadow is great today. Also, that book is so short, I could read it in one. I know! Pretty much. Okay, so, and of course, it goes over the introduction, like I read to you guys about the book's dedicated, blah, blah, blah. But it says on here 48 pages, but it's only 37. So I guess she's counting the blank pages as pages. And thank you, girl, about my eyeshadow. I was looking a hot mess, actually. I almost didn't come live because my man was supposed to be watching my daughter and then went MIA at the last minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, my daughter was so fussy. So, okay, here are the reviews, what people are saying. Let me zoom into this real quick, and people are not happy. She's got 1 out of 5 stars on Amazon. So let's see. So one person said 1 out of 5. Ridiculous, bruh. Listen, so I bought this book because I'm all about the tea. And that's how I am. I'm all about the tea too. So I was pumped thinking there's going to be tea galore in this book, and it was the opposite. And she says, I've been loyal to Love After Lockup for years now. Chevelle and Quaylen's story was so ridiculous, I had to pay my hard-earned money to check out this book. This book is straight comedy. I feel bad because I feel like Chevelle being real serious, but I cannot take this book seriously. There are so many typos, spelling errors, misused grammar, and it sounds like a 7th grader wrote this. Mind you, the table of context, ridiculous. So yeah, let me read the table of context real quick. I started it. It says, Chapter 1 is sweet talking, making love to my mind while penetrating my heart. Chapter 2 is I got you, my weakness, the guilt of wanting to feel needed. Chapter 3, gotta see babe, their need to connect with you to make the attachment stronger. Chapter 4, I'm not desperate, securing a spot in your life. And this is pretty much a chapter where she's talking about people were calling her desperate for seeking an inmate, this and that. But it's literally only like 4 or 5 paragraphs per chapter, though. And it's like, I hate to say this because Chevelle's a really nice person, but I don't know, honey. I don't know if this writing books thing is your thing. Okay, chapter 5, emotional games. When they have mastered who you are, they become what you need. And that's her talking about like how an inmate, they talk to you on the phone and they get your weaknesses and what you're vulnerable about. And, they can really prey on your vulnerabilities. And that's what she talks about in this chapter. When your loyalty is in question, when they want to become a priority in your life. Chapter 7, communication is everything. It's the foundation key to a relationship. And there's like 4 more chapters, but I really don't feel like reading it all. I'm trying to find, because there were, like she said, there was misused grammar. But like I said, I'm not the grammar police. Like, who was that? Carrie, who said she's a grammar police? I'm not very good at grammar. So, but if you're going to write a book, you should probably get it edited and get the grammar checked out because you're going to have people spotting that. And, if you write like a status with bad grammar, people always put, you can write something super important and it's like people don't listen to what you said or don't care about what you say. They just want to point out the grammar and be the grammar police. It'll just go over their heads and they want to be like, but you spelt this wrong or you didn't use a hypothesis here or there, so. And then let's look at another review. Hang on, let me look at a few comments real quick. Oh no. Yeah, make her work for it, Amber. Flag that, set them straight. See, I didn't purchase mine on Amazon. I got it right from her. She should have asked more to proofread it. I know. But you can tell, like, it's not And since with all the spelling grammars and all that, you can tell it's not a ghostwriter because, they would at least fix that unless she like hired somebody off the street to be her ghostwriter. Well, I don't know. And it says a seventh grader wrote this, spelling errors. There's a few spelling errors that I noticed, but it's like, okay, if it's 37 pages, take your time. And like, there's even things you can buy like Grammarly. I don't know how much it is, but there's like this website called Grammarly, and it will fix all your grammar mistakes and speller errors. I mean, it costs a little money, but it's not that much. She should at least took the time to invest that before she published it. She said it took her a month to make the book, but maybe she should have spent 2 months on it. Honestly, I would have been excited to meet her though. She was very, very nice in person. She was very sweet. That's why I I was really hoping it was really good so I could like come up here and hype it up. But guys, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I only keep it real here. And if it's not that great, it's not that great. And so here's another review. Did he lie or did Chevelle? Awful. Where were the lies? She hasn't elaborated about anything. The book ended before it started. I want my $4.23 and wasted time back. And that's pretty bad because they bought the Kindle version. So if for $4.23, if you felt like you wasted your money when you just spent $4.23, that says something right there. And, that's the thing. When she says jail lies, but she's not covering no jail lies at all. She covers a few. She assumes of them telling you what you want to hear and this and that. But it's like this person, all these reviews are great because they say exactly what I want to say, but I couldn't figure out the way to say it. The book ended before it started. And that's how I felt. Like, I literally sat down and read this in 20 minutes. And then I was just waiting for something big to happen or to get excited. And it was just like all common sense stuff that we already knew from the show. I want to pay for her pamphlet. Yeah, she is very, very sweet. But her daughter, Maila, she's sassy. I was trying to get a picture with her and she wouldn't do it. Basic version of Grammarly is free. Oh man, I got to start checking that out because I want to start like a website and stuff. But like I said, my grammar is not the best. I've been called out on my grammar before. But then again, that's why I make YouTube videos and I am not a blogger. And someone else said, Tracy, 1 out of 5, don't waste your money, save your money. And what else do we got on here? Oh, is there more reviews? Let me see if there's more reviews real quick. I think there's only 3. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, hang on a second. Let me take this off here. I honestly, out of 1 out of 5 stars, I don't want to give it a 1 because she put a little effort into. I would probably give it like a 1.2. 2 seems too high, but 1 seems too low. We'll go with 1.2 or 1.33 out of 5. Like, has anybody read Brittany's book? That's the book I want to read. Like, really bad. And I think her book's like $22, and she's even working on writing another book and stuff. And Chevelle even said she's working on another book. Like, this is the beginning to her series, but I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the last book that I buy. Because, like I said, I felt like this book was, clickbait. It's like jail lies, but there's no lies talked about in it. Let me see if I can find like a passage so I can give you guys an idea. I really want to find like some of her grammar mistakes. Hang on a second, guys. There's something I found. Sorry, guys. And I don't know. I feel like she's almost. Okay, here's this thing she says. I'm going to read a paragraph. She says, why do we have to be called desperate when I see many women play the side chick, talking about people calling her desperate for wanting to be with a man in jail? And she said, and be okay with it. But we are considered stupid because we find love from someone on the inside. talking about double standard, but I guess that's just the world we live in. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mines. And that's the thing. That's how you can tell it's Chevelle, because she says mines, and that's a little ghetto. But, I like it because it's like, it's different, And better yet, walk a mile in my shoes and see if they still fit, and then tell me if they are still comfortable. Become less judgmental of others and never say what you wouldn't do. Remember, you haven't been there yet. Your never could easily change tomorrow. And I think that's another mistake. Let me see if you guys can read this. It says, you never could easily change tomorrow. Is that written right? You never could easily change tomorrow. That sounds like that's not, it sounds like she should say your life could easily change tomorrow. But honestly, guys, that's probably the best paragraph out of the whole book. And that's things that you hear people say every day, sweep your own rug, or, worry about your own grass before you worry about someone else's grass. What's up, amazing Leo? I feel Brittany's book would have more substance. Yes. Actually, I'm glad you said that word. Like, Chevelle uses big words at times, so it's, makes her seem very smart, and she probably is very smart. But it just doesn't seem like what she's talking about has much substance. Like, she's trying to help people who are with people who are incarcerated. Like, this is supposed to be a guide or a way to help you point out lies. But there's nothing, like, no guide to help a person. And there's nothing like, this is what you need to look out for and this and that. She's like, I don't know. It's just common sense. For real. I'm kind of very disappointed about the book. And I feel so bad saying that. But, I mean, I would read hers too, for sure. Yeah, and she said last night, she's coming out with another book. So basically, Chevelle could have written all this in some... Yes, exactly. Guys, I bet this was her diary. Oh my gosh. This is probably her diary. This is what this sounds like. It's her diary, like the last 2 months before Quaylen gets out. And I guess they were together like 2.5 years before he got out. But she covers, like, for everything she talks about, she covers it all in a paragraph. Literally like a Facebook post. Maybe she, like, jumbled all her Facebook posts in the past years together and made a book, or maybe it sounds like her diary, like, or she's just taking notes about how she feels, and she's like, I'm going to make a book out of this. I'm going to become famous. Her sentences are struggling. I know. Man, I really want to find this other one. There's, like, a really bad one in here, but I wanted to fold it down, but I didn't. Here, let me read another thing. I know in a relationship, it always starts off good. You can tell each other everything. That's my best friend and my soulmate is what most couples say. But when the honeymoon stage is over, you hear, I can't talk to him. He won't listen, and we don't communicate like we did when they was locked up. All the things you hear when reality sets in and the fairy tale becomes our reality. Your love for each other has to be key and solid to make it through any situation. I say it's not what you go through, but how you respond to what you go through. No relationship is easy, and I know it's going to work, but we have vowed to do it. We need to make it work. Now that's love. Now, if the vow is broken, the communication is trust is out the door. Love won't live here anymore. If you don't understand me, just say amen. And that was a little confusing, but I mean, I don't know. Has anybody else got Chevelle's book in here, and what do you guys think of it? Anybody who wears Chevelle have intern every day. I know. There's so many jokes people said to her about, and people are like, when you met her in person, did you ask her about her Ultimate Warrior outfit? But I just can't. I don't know. But guys, we have to give her credit. Her Ultimate Warrior outfit did look better than the dress she wore when Quaylen proposed to her. It did look better. Because that one dress she wore, it's just, I don't know. She doesn't really have the body type for it. Her sentence, haha, wash hands. But I don't know. I wasn't. This book, if I was you guys, save your money. The t-shirts are cool. The t-shirts, I wanted to wear the t-shirt, but I wore it the other day and I was cooking and I got food everywhere on it. And then, like, the t-shirts are cool. It's got this design on it. But like I said, I don't know if she's going to give the t-shirts with the book. I don't know if that was just a thing. And, I do got to give her credit because I don't know where I got $35 at. And when I went to the book signing, for some reason, I thought the books were $35. And when she was taking the money from me, I gave her $35 and she gave me $15 back and said, "It's only $20, honey." And she could have easily took that $15. Like, I feel like if it was Quaylen or D-Mark, no shade, no tea, they probably would have took the $15 and not said anything. Like, yeah, it's $15, but she actually gave me my $15 back, so hey. But as we know now, Quaylen and Chevelle are currently together, but I got vibes that they're married, for real. Because like I said, if you guys haven't seen my video, or if you guys have, Quaylen's mom was at her book signing, and my man was talking crap about Quaylen, and he got called out by Quaylen's mom. And we didn't realize that was Quaylen's mom. She said, "What did you say about my son? What did you say about Quaylen?" But my man, he didn't get scared or nothing. He was trying to get her, she was trying to scare him and think he would back up on his words. And he just told her straight up, like, he needs to grow up. And she said, "You can't believe everything you see on TV." And I'm starting to think that, because after I saw how the families, because Chevelle was there, the mom was there, and Quaylen was there, or not Quaylen, but Quaylen's mom was there, and how they all interacted, literally, like, Chevelle's mom and Quaylen's mom were literally arm in arm, walking around with each other, BFFs. And like the mom said, "You can't believe everything you say on TV." And even Quaylen's sister said that they made her out to be the family to be the bad guys, and her family to be the good guys, and this and that. And Chevelle doesn't wear the best outfits, but I can't be too hard on Chevelle because she is a good mom. And that's the one thing that pisses me off the most about these people on this show, is when you got kids and you don't care at all about these kids, like Destiny, Lindsay, especially Lindsay's daughter. She's so beautiful. And like how you can just throw your kids out the window and not care. That's what bothers me. That's when I got a problem with somebody. And it's like, okay, you made a mistake. You lost your kids. But it's do what you can to be in those kids' lives and try to get those kids back, get stable, to have those kids around. Like people like Destiny get out and they're too worried about using people and tricks and just whatever they can use to their advantage, instead of worrying about what they can do to help make their kids have a better life and make their kids happy. And that's what makes me really mad. So, Chevelle is a good mom. So I do have to give her credit on that. That book sounds bad. Yeah, I would give it a 1.2 out of 5. And I feel bad. I feel really bad, but she hooked you up because she knows you are a YouTuber. Yeah. And I told her I was a YouTuber from the beginning. And so that's like, and I want to ask her for an interview and this and that, but I feel like a lot of my questions got answered at the book signing. Give her the $15 so she can get I want to write a book. How much does it cost to write a book and get one edited? It seems like anybody can write a book any day. I'm pretty sure my grammar sucks, but I could probably use a little better grammar than that. Thank you. I used to always just like use a little avatar and get so scared to show my face because people are mean. These YouTube streets ain't nothing to play with. But you know what? I quit. I don't care. I don't take things personally from people I don't know personally. But this is rarity. I don't ever wear makeup because I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm always on mom duty. Like sweatpants and no makeup. That's my life right now. Yes, Angelina. Give her the 59. That's why we love her. I love Brittany. I love her so much. She's my favorite character, and her and Marcelino remind me of me and my boyfriend's relationship. We have the same age difference, but my boyfriend was just like Marcelino. At first, I didn't really care for Marcelino, but this is what I realized about reality TV. Somebody made this point to me the other day, and you know what? I think it's really true. So a lot of these TV shows, when they first cast these people, they come up with the ideas of how they're going to spin these characters. For example, when Quaylen's sister said they made her look like the bad family and her family look like the good family. So I realized, like, when they cast these people, they probably have a meeting and say, okay, we're going to make this one the mama's boy. We're going to make this one the user. We're going to make this one the sucker, like Sean. And, we're going to do our editing, and we're going to show clips that help spin to make that character spin the way we want them to be who we want them to be. So if we're going to say we want them to look like a mama's boy, we're only going to show stuff that makes them look like a mama's boy. So like Quaylen's sister said, they made them look bad. So I feel like all the good times they probably didn't show. And, and there could have been loving times between some couples like Destiny and Sean, but they didn't show that. I bet if there was probably very little, but it's like they don't show that because they want to spin it a certain way for their viewers. And, so that's what they only show things that spin the character the way it wants to be spun. You guys understand what I'm saying? And I'm realizing that. And, it's just really upsetting, like, after seeing this book signing, because I really like the show, and I'm really sad the season's over till June. I'm really sad about it because I don't know what to do with myself on Fridays no more. And it seems like there's always guaranteed tea with that show. And 90 Day Fiance, like, I am so over 90 Day Fiance. Like, all these couples all of a sudden at the end of the season, they're about to get married. Now they're all having second thoughts and this and that. I feel like, producers are like, hey, we'll pay you a little extra money, Mike. Break up with Natalie, the day you're supposed to get married and stuff like that. That's how I feel, but I don't know. And it sucks because, this is what I cover and stuff like that. And I want to, I want it to be real, but it's like the more you pay attention, the more you realize like, like, when did do you guys watch Mama June? What do you guys think of the Mama June episode this last Friday? Like, I never really followed Mama June, but I did it because I had subscribers recommend it, and that show seems so staged, and like, that family's funny on their own. They don't need a script, and they don't need people telling them do this and do that. And it seems like they're telling them to do all these things because of timing on things, and you can tell them laughing and just kind of feeling uncomfortable or awkward. It's not natural, so you can tell it's like not real at all. Easy, self-publish on Amazon. You can find an editor anywhere. Colleges, Facebook, it's easy. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery for like a year, but before I was in recovery, I lived a crazy life. Like, and I want to like write a book about kind of like where I was, my struggles, and where I am today. But it's like writing a book is overwhelming. I've tried to start writing a book, and it's like it's too much, it seems like. But maybe if I got some help, and then kind of like if you split it up maybe in different books or something, kind of like how Brittany says she's going to do it, might make it easier so I don't have to feel so overwhelmed telling my full story in one book, because I really don't know how I would tell my full story in one book. But I don't know, guys. This book is not it. It's not it. Friday's Little Woman Atlanta. Brie and Mars melt my heart, y'all. He's so good for her, and to her, it seems. Yeah, I know. And now he's a stay-at-home dad. What does Brittany do now that made him a stay-at-home dad? She's got to be making some good money for him. But, their relationship is goals for real. And then also, I saw an interview with Brittany last night, and she said, she was asked if she's going to be another season, and she said stay tuned. And they asked about the mom, and she said stay tuned. So I almost have a feeling they might be like still filming for the next season. The season comes back in June, but it's going to be Love After Lockup, not Life After Lockup. So Love After Lockup's when people get right out of jail. Life After Lockup is a spin-off of people after they get out of jail and after they've been together. So, they're filming. And for those of you who don't know, Sean and his new girlfriend are filming. She's from Cincinnati in Ohio, and they've been spotted in Ohio. There's pictures of them, and I have a video about it. And he's going to be on the next season of Love After Lockup that comes out in June. They just haven't announced the Sean part yet, but they came into their business and they got pictures of the film crew, and they had to get permission from the restaurant, to film there and stuff like that. So hopefully Sean doesn't get treated as bad by this girl, by Destiny. But I've seen pictures on them on Facebook, and they seem to be pretty in love. Friday's Little Woman Atlanta. I just now started following Little Women because one of my followers asked me to follow Little Women of Dallas, and I've never watched that show, and so I started following it. And the whole thing with right cheek and left cheek, that right cheek, that chick is crazy. I haven't seen her like before she started having her little mental breakdown, but oh my gosh, that chick is off the chain. I'm gonna have to start watching Little Women of Atlanta. Mama June will have a messy season. Yeah. And she's supposed to be seeing Alana this season. They're supposed to have a sit down sometime this season, but at the end of this month, her and Gina will have 14 months sober. So hey, I gotta give them credit on that. Me too. I hope they bring some different types of characters on LA next year. It's gonna be hard to replace Andre and Lamar when they go to Africa. I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't think Lamar is gonna go to Africa. He said he was, but I don't think he's built for that. Maybe he might do it because Andrea might be like super mean to him, be like, I'm divorcing you, I'm leaving you, I'm moving back to Utah if you don't go to Africa. But if she begs him to go there, I could see him flying there and staying there for like 2 hours and being like, screw this, and flying back. And he's producing a mixtape for Quaylin and D-Mark right now. He's helping make a mixtape for the both of them. And that's another thing. Like, they're supposed to hate each other. That's another thing. Was that all for the show? Because now they're on tour. They were on tour together in Atlanta, and now they're making a mixtape together. So was all that them hating each other, all that just for the show? And just like, the truck. I asked her about the truck that she bought for Quaylin, and she said that Quaylin didn't take the truck. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, they didn't show that, but Quaylin didn't take the truck because he didn't have a license. I'm like, what? No. And then I saw Quaylin's sister talking on Facebook, and she said the truck was all for props. And I had a feeling the truck from Lamar was all props, but they could have cleaned the bird crap off of the car that Lamar gave Andre before he put a bow on it. But I felt like it was prop. And, the sister confirmed it, that truck was just a prop. And so she never bought it or anything. Pumpkin and her husband, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I thought maybe they're on the verge of divorce. So I went to their Instagram, and they're all lovey-dovey. I feel like all that drama between Pumpkin and her husband has definitely got to be fake. And then, like, I'm sorry, but if that was me, and if somebody locked me out of my house that I paid the bills for, I don't care if there's camera crews there. I'm going to beat on that window until you let me in, or I'm going to scream. I'm sorry, that's my type. I paid for this, so you better let me in. I wouldn't just be like, okay, I guess I'm sleeping on the deck tonight. No. And the fact when, like, Pumpkin was showing her body, doing that, helping Jessica. I do have to say, though, that scene when Jessica was trying to practice endorsement deals, and, all of a sudden, Pumpkin's like, here, let me show you how to do it. She lifts her shirt up. I thought it was funny how Jessica was doing it because she kept messing up, and she was trying everything. That's another reason why I get scared to do live sometimes, because I'm afraid I'm going to do that on a live. But, and then the husband walks in, sees Pumpkin lifting her shirt up, like, right then and there. Like, that's a timing thing. That's kind of like when Mama June got on her knees in that one season and was going to propose to Gino, and then all of a sudden the kids walked in and were like, what are you doing? I'm like, come on. Sometimes there's, bad timing, but you don't have bad timing like that every single day. And you can just see the kids, like, look at each other and looking at each other and smiling and stuff. They just seem so awkward. Carrie, right? Hey, girl. Hey, psych for life. Amber, just right. I can edit you. Yes, you have an audience and a story to tell, apparently. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. I appreciate that. I want to start writing a book because I feel like I have a lot of good things to say, and like I used to actually go to what's it called? When people go to detox. I used to go to different detoxes and speak at detoxes and tell my story and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that, but I just get really bad anxiety in front of a lot of people. And so I feel like writing a book would be better. Yes, it was all fake. No, really. The first time D-Mark and Quaylin had that fight, I thought it was about to turn into everyone kept saying that fight they had, it looked like Alien versus Predator. Man, I've said this before, but I used to like Dean Mark and thought he was so hot until I asked him for an interview, and he said $150 for a 15-minute phone interview, not like showing his face, but like just audio. $150. Like, you're not even a main cast member. What am I going to ask you for $150 worth? No. And he's been posting stuff on IG saying he's all mad because his baby mama won't let her claim their daughter on his taxes and stuff. But it's like, man, I was offering to pay you, but I'm not going to pay you no $150. There ain't no way. Even if you're a main cast member, $150 is just not worth it. Hi. If Lamar's a felon, he may not be allowed to travel. He might not be able to get a passport depending on his charges. I don't recall what he was in prison for. I don't recall what he was in prison for either. I think it was, here, let me see if I can look it up real quick. What's Lamar's last name? Does anybody know Lamar's last name? On Mama June, I'm about to look that up real quick. Episode at the end, I think they freaked out about last minute, called it, oh, yeah. I doubt 14 months so because they were both pissed dirty on you. And it almost seemed like the call from the lawyer was fake because it seemed like the way she was talking to the lawyer, you know, and usually when they talk on the phone to somebody, you can hear it in their microphone or they put it on speaker for everybody else to hear, you know. That's usually what they do is they make that person put it on speaker so everybody can hear what they're talking about. But you couldn't hear her talking to the lawyer, and it seemed like she was talking too fast for the lawyer to get anything out. So I don't believe she was having a conversation. All of a sudden, she's getting called in for court the next day. I feel like the court date was already planned, but that's what they did to hype it up. Like, I noticed when they get the producers involved, sometimes they do it to like make the situation seem more serious or try to make it seem less staged than it is. And like when the producers started getting all involved and stuff, I was like, okay, this is fake. And okay, guys, what the heck? Why does Destiny get to slap Sean and hit him all the time? And why does Lindsay get to tear up Scott's office, trash his office, and put FU in his desk, trash his laptop? And another point, when she put the laptop outside, it wasn't raining. It was sunny outside. And then all of a sudden it starts raining. I swear, they probably turned on a sprinkler to make it seem like it was raining all of a sudden. But she puts the laptop out. She trashes his office. Destiny's always beating Sean up. Okay, but when Chevelle shoves Quaylen, all of a sudden they want to get involved and say, oh, no. Like, don't do that. Okay. Or she said, you cannot touch him. Really? Like, I believe Chevelle's tears were real. And I feel like that situation was real. But come on, like, you guys are going to tell her to not push him, but you're going to let all these other people do all this other stuff all the time and be okay with it? Especially with the Lindsay thing, because she trashed Scott's office forever. It's not like she just, like, broke something and went on. She tore his whole office apart, and they just sat there. But they're okay with, you know, but they're not okay with Chevelle pushing Quaylen. Daughters, prison porn. When he tried to cuddle with Jessica, that's exactly. And, you know, I don't know. I don't want to sound bad, but it seemed like the show was like, when June was like crazy, you know, not doing good at all. I think that's when the show was best. And I know that doesn't sound, because I want the best for June, but that's when it seemed like all the situations were real. And now that she's doing good, it's like, okay, we don't got no drama, so we just got to kind of make it all up. And so and then it seemed like, you know, another question I have is Jessica said she couldn't afford her rent because they raised her rent at her apartment. So that means you have a job and you're paying for rent at that apartment, because how else would you be able to pay for that apartment? And now you're moving in with Pumpkin, and when Josh asks you about your job, you say, I don't have, or she says she doesn't have a job. Well, how were you paying for your apartment before that? See, that I don't get it. But I be paying attention. I be paying attention with TV. You guys may think I don't, but I peep all your guys' BS. I think all these shows are fake, but 90 Day Fiance is the worst. 90 Day Fiance is the worst. Like, can we get a new season already? Hey, Cammy. Did you notice him flop down on the bed, ass up with Chevelle at the hotel the first time? Yeah, when they're eating strawberries and stuff like that and feeding each other strawberries. Dark is rude. If you interviewed him, he would have gotten more publicity. Are you talking? Oh, D-Mark? Yeah, D-Mark is rude. He thinks he's the ish, and it's like, come on, man. Like, and I feel like Chevelle, brought him on the show for a reason to give him more publicity, but it's going all to his head. And even the mom, or no, even Quaylen's sister said she wishes they weren't on this season because she feels like it went to both of their heads. She was geeked. And I believe the situation with Chevelle, yeah, I do too. And she's the same woman who wanted a convicted felon to be her daughter's stepdad. What a good mom and role model. That's the only thing. Like, I do not agree with her having Maila call Quaylen daddy. I don't agree with that one bit. I don't think that's right. Especially, that's just like playing with your daughter's emotions. That's one thing I do not agree with, on top of her outfit choices. But now it's this book. So anybody who's just now tuning in, I did a review on this book, and this book is 37 pages, and I give this book like a 1.2 out of 5. On Amazon, it has a 1 out of 5. Every review is 1 out of 5, and that's got to say a lot for it. Because, people would be like, it wasn't that great, but it was okay. And they might give it 4 stars or 3 stars. But for everybody to give it 1 star, that says a lot about the book right there. Not you, because if somebody even kind of liked it, they would have given it a 2 or 3. Maybe if there's a part or anything. But that just means, like, they did not like it at all, and I can't complain about what I paid because I got the t-shirt and all that, but for $15, even the person, like I said, who they paid $4 and something, and they're upset and they wanted their money back. So Jessica's trying to ignore the fact that Marie still has feelings. Yeah. And actually, Jessica got Chevelle's book. I don't know if she paid for it or Chevelle just paid, gave it to her for free, because Maurice is locked back up and looking at 140 days. Like, hey, sister, here, feel better and read about this book, Jail Lies. But, it's supposed to help people who have a loved one incarcerated, but it doesn't really, there's not much, like, help. It's not as, I don't know, there's just, like, no substance or direction for the book. It just really sounds like her diary, for real. She was so desperate with that call me daddy. Yeah. And then, when they're at the amusement park, did you guys see the look Maila gave him when he's like, come here. And she's like, she really didn't want to come near him. And that time, like, when they're going outside and she's like, why do you smell like that? I had to rewind like 5 times. I said, she did not just ask him, why does she smell like that? You're going to be smelling pretty bad. But, little kids are honest. They don't got no filter and they don't leave nothing behind. So if she says you smell bad, then you got to be smelling pretty bad. She rushed it thinking she'd make more money off it while the season was still going. Yes. And that's the thing, she dropped it the day after the season finale. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be so much tea. She's going to talk about everything that happened since the show. But it's literally like right before he gets out of prison. So there's nothing about Quaylen in it. She refers to Quaylen as Q. And like somebody said earlier, it always makes me feel like, think about, I can't say the word because for some reason that's like something that, YouTube will take your videos down if you say it, but the QUANON, that whole little theory some people follow in, or, but that's what I always think of when I hear Q. Where's Q? We got another Q drop. That breaks down about $2 a page. No way. And she said it was 47 pages on Amazon, but it was only 37 pages. Seriously. Okay, I guess she's going to count all these blank pages. Blank page. Hang on. Blank page. But like I said, guys, her book, here's like 2 pages. And then there's another page, and there's a chapter right there. This chapter is literally 2.5 pages. And this one is like the release, her talking about the last chapter of her getting butterflies and all anxious he's about to get out and stuff like that. But like I said, like, some of the stuff like she wrote was kind of interesting. There's just like all a lot of common sense. Exactly, we love it. They did this show for a check. Yeah, and the fact that, they were trying to get famous. Chevelle was Yellowbone or whatever, a singer, and she's been in a couple movies. And, they said at the beginning of the show that I stole $15,000 from them and, saying he was going to make them famous and he was from New York, and then he just went ghost. Well, so I feel like, she probably heard about the show and knew about the show, and she's like, I'm gonna go find me an inmate. It's my big break, but she got on the show, so, and she made money off the show. So only 37 pages, girl. It's a pamphlet. It's not a book, it's a pamphlet. I literally, seriously, I got this notebook. It's kind of my little notebook I've had for like, this is my notebook. It's a little messy and it's like, oh my goodness. This is way smaller than my note. And this notebook, I've tore like half the pages out that I use. And this is how thin her book is. Very, very, very thin. Oh my goodness. You're right. It's like she just published her diary. And like I said, like, these people with their little talking about, I think these people said it best with the reviews about saying that, the book was over before it started, because that's what it really felt like. Like, I read it in like 15 minutes and I was like, it's done? What happened? Where are the jail lies? What I kind of felt scammed. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like it was clickbait. Get you all hyped up. But shoot, I mean, I guess if you're like on a show, just because of your name, people are gonna buy the book. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna have tea on it. I thought Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup had a lot of tea. I thought this was gonna be full of tea, and it's not. It's just a bunch of BS, for real. Common sense. How in the hell did she find a publisher? I don't know. It was Exlabrious. And after I found, honestly, guys, after I read this book, I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. So I even looked up this publisher, but I couldn't find the rates online. Do you guys know how much it is to, like, get a book edited or published? I think she said she published it herself, or no, she either edited or published it herself. So, well, I guess if this is the publisher, I guess she did her own editing, as I said, because there was a lot of spelling checks, grammar errors, and this and that. And like the person in the review said, it's like a 7th grader read it, and then she probably published it. But like I said, that's kind of disappointing, because I really wanted to talk it up and say, because she is a very nice person, this and that. But guys, I'm going to be honest. That's the thing. Like, I try to reach out to people for interviews. Like, you see Sherelle's World, she's always getting interviews and stuff like that. And that's cool. And I've reached out for people for interviews. But the thing is, like, for like Destiny and Lindsay, for example, I reached out to them for interviews and I never heard back. And then I actually had a comment from Destiny under one of my videos. I don't know. She's in jail, but people say they give them tablets. But I don't know, she had somebody log into her YouTube channel and say, check this person out so I can see what I'm getting myself into before I do an interview with her. And she left something really mean under one of my videos. And she did not like what I had to say about her. But, I'm going to keep it real. And if somebody deserves it, I'm going to say, I'm just going to say it. Destiny deserves it. Everything that's coming at her, she deserves it. She brought that upon herself. And, a good point, like, I heard Lacey make about people like Destiny is like, you shouldn't put yourself on TV if you have all these things, if you're still going to be screwing up, because then it's going to get exposed to the whole world and people are going to see all your skeletons in your closet and this and that. You want to be like Britney and have good head on your shoulders, because then you don't have to have problems and feel like they didn't edit your story right, or like something's going to come to light, or what's done in the dark will come to light. If you're not doing anything wrong, then there's not going to be anything that they can show wrong that you're doing. But people like Destiny, you can only hide it for so long before it cracks and somebody catches you doing something you're not supposed to be doing. It's like the college paper you wrote the day before. She said it took her a month to write it, but I don't know. It's almost like she wrote this like maybe in a week. That was a good deal. T-shirt, book, and meet and greet for $20. Yeah, so I feel like it was a good deal just because I got pictures with her. My baby got pictures with her. My fiance got pictures with her, and I got to ask her questions. But she kind of like didn't really go into detail about some things, but she did answer a few questions. So I mean, for somebody who's going to order this on Amazon, I don't think it's worth $15. But the $3.99 Kindle version, I would say it's worth that. But somebody reviewed it and said it wasn't. I don't know. Because it's nothing like I feel like this book didn't bring me anything. Like, you usually read a book and it brings, it might open your eyes or you might learn something, but I feel like I didn't really learn anything from it. I feel like I was just like, I don't even know. Quaylen also knew that barber that his mom introduced him to all along. He posts pictures of them hanging out. I doubt that he just, yeah, right? And just like Jay, that Jay dude that Chevelle went on the date with, Jay, there's pictures of Quaylen, or not Quaylen. Yeah, actually, there's pictures of Quaylen and some of his friends at a party a couple months ago, and Jay's in the background. So now Quaylen and Jay are homies, and they may have never even been enemies. And I found on Facebook that Jay got married like 4 years ago, and Chevelle was at his wedding. She was in his wedding. And the show was taped after that. So, I feel like they just brought Jay on to be, fake date, even though he's married. And, like the fact that he texted Chevelle and this and that, and, Quaylen got all mad, that fight seemed real, but Chevelle, that guy was married at the time when he was texting Chevelle. And Quaylen had pictures on Instagram. I think I deleted it afterwards, but I got a screenshot of it. And yeah, him and Jay are buddies. My baby daddy was in jail with Q said, are you serious? I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my gosh. He does come cast at that time. But guys, I think I'm about to get off here. I went on a little longer than I should, and I went off a little bit off topic and all that. But hey, I missed this show. I don't know what to do with myself until this comes back. I don't know. I just don't think Mama June or 90 Day Fiance is cutting it. But the previews I saw, the new Love After Lockup season, it seems all right. I've seen 3 of the couples, but what I'm looking forward to is Sean and his new girlfriend in this upcoming season. I swear. But thank you, everybody. I'm so happy. I got 7 of you guys in here. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever had that many people here in a live before. But thank you guys so much. It means so much to me when you guys subscribe and support me. I really love it. And like I said, I'd give this book like a 1.2 out of 5. And if you guys started late, you guys can just rewind back after I end this live and go over all the reviews and a little bit more into detail about the book. But I don't know. I'm probably going to put this book on the shelf and not read it again. I mean, I'll save it because it's got her autograph, but it's not one of those books you want to read twice. It doesn't really have anything like, oh my gosh, I need to read that again. Sassy, I knew it. About Quaylen being gay. Oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. That would mean the world to me. And me and Jason are going to do a 90 Day Fiance recap later on tonight. I don't know, probably be around like 8:30 or 9 or so. So if you guys want to, tune into that. And you guys have a good night. Deuces.